Hello, everybody. Good evening to all of you from IEP, all the volunteers and all the people watching right now. I apologize for the technical delay that we had gone through. And first off, I want to thank the team at IEP for actually really supporting and getting the session going on. I wanted to suggest the postponement because we have several speakers after this, but they were very supportive and helpful in trying to make sure that we came online one way or the other. So I want to thank Thierry and the team. And I want to thank them for inviting me over here to share a few things with you and a few ideas, actually. So a little bit about myself. My name is Gadjen Suryakumar. Some of you may know me. For those of you who don't know me, I'm actually, well, as the poster suggested, I got all these weird titles, right? But I'm essentially a guy who likes to help people. And through that came my career of coaching and training. So I'm essentially a person who focuses more on transformation and life, right? And today's topic that I wanted to share with you was one that is something that has been very close to my heart and something that I do on a daily basis and with my clients. And I thought I'd take this opportunity to share it out with you as well. You see, ask yourself a question, right? When was the last time you woke up and shook your norm? Now, some of you are probably wondering right now, what does that mean, right? What does the norm mean? The norm is basically a shortened form of the normal around you, right? But here's the thing. There is a difference between the norm that is within yourself and a part of you and the norm that is around society, right? So there are two norms. There is the norm around society and the norm, secondly, the norm within you and what you can control around you. So here's the thing. One thing that is very important is understanding what exactly is the norm around you. It's about the lifestyle you've built, the work you do, the things you like to do for recreational activities, for having a chill time in your life and all that. So there are so many things that create your norm and create and build your entire life, okay? And especially in these times, this whole thing has taken a big shift, right? Society itself is struggling a lot. The world alone is really seeing a lot of problems. And I had the opportunity of seeing a couple of other speakers who took this platform. And I know that all of them have covered on different and variety topics about COVID-19, the situation, how to handle yourself, how to handle stress, mentality, all those areas of topics that they've spoken about. But here's the thing. What I wanted to touch on today was key to help you focus and give you the steps to fundamentally create norms in your life, to create a fresh norm, and how to take that norm into society as well, right? And this can come with so many different approaches. There is no fixed formula, right? There is no fixed formula. But there are, I believe, 3 fundamental steps that you can do to help take this to your new norm, right? And it can apply to any area of your life. So it can apply from wanting to try new things, wanting to settle in a new job, wanting to recreate your personal life or how you approach people, everything, right? The formula is the same, but it's about accepting and taking it out there. It's as simple as that. So let me dive a little bit into it and really help you out to understand a little bit, right? The first thing that we need to understand about creating a new norm is to first realize what exactly is surrounding you at this present moment, okay? Now, when you understand what's surrounding you, you quickly understand what's pulling you down and what is lifting you up. All these little thought processes are crazy, but let me simplify this. Okay, all these years in your life, you created a fundamental base for yourself. You created a foundation. Okay, your entire life is built on a certain foundation. This is built on 2 factors. Number 1 is the mentality or the psychology behind it. And number 2 is the way you created your lifestyle and the habits around it, right? So once you've created this base, things become so automatic, we're lost in this norm. I hope that makes sense. So once we've created this complexity, right? Once we created this environment and ideas around us, we get lost in it. Our mind takes over, right? And everything becomes part of a daily routine. We saying yes to things, we saying no to things, and there are so many complications that arise from it, and therefore there are things that stop you from doing what you want to do, right? So here's the thing. Let's look at the process. When you create a base, one of the things that really play big is to understand how much of it is mind power and how much is it the strategy behind it or the mechanism that helps you settle the base down. Okay. And it's quite fascinating. It's about at least 75 to 80% mind power or psychology mindset behind the whole game. And it's about 20% of mechanics. Right? When I say mechanics, I basically mean the strategy of how you want to do things, how you settle your lifestyle, your personality, all that, and the habits that you have. Okay. So let me take you down a simple process. Now, to really elevate and open yourself up, one of the things that you can really do to understand your mindset is to go through what we call in NLP the Dickens process. All right. So the Dickens process, in short, is essentially the process through which you force yourself to see what is limiting you. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Things can limit you. The way you think limits you. You know, a lot of people have said the sky is the limit and this is that. So many things they've told you. And all these things and constructs have come as limiting factors. And these are what we like to call limiting beliefs. You believe that this is the limit. That's what it basically means. Let me tell you a quick story. So shortly, I have been a Toastmaster for over 11 years now. And it's been an amazing journey for me because it was the stepping stone for me to actually come out as a speaker where I am today in my life. Okay. But somewhere in the middle, there came a point where I had a couple of struggles. I've had my fair share of problems, doubt, all the things that you probably could think of. I've had a fair share of experiences there. But here's the thing, right? It started affecting me wholesomely. Because the moment these problems started, they started settling in the form of beliefs. I started believing certain things that weren't true about myself. I started thinking I was not a great public speaker. I started thinking I was losing my vocabulary. My ability to speak in English was dwindling, was basically reducing, right? My ability to connect with the audience was bad. My energy levels were so low and everything just kept crumbling down, right? And in my career as a speaker, I actually stopped speaking in public. Yeah, I'm a public speaker and I stopped speaking in public in open forums almost 5 to 6 years ago. Let me tell you something. It's after about 6 years, I've actually come and stepped forward to do something like this out here. And I went through this process of breaking these limits, right? By facing them. So the first thing that you got to do is understand what your limits are. So I understood that my limit was that I was thinking I'm not a good speaker. But the truth is that was absolute false, right? I had the knowledge, I had the skills. What I lacked was the practice. I just didn't put myself out there to practice, right? And enhancing my skill and growing my skill. So what I needed to do was change his limiting belief into an empowering belief, right? So how do you do that? You got to destroy the limiting belief and then create a new empowering belief. So that's where you go from saying, I am horrible at public speaking to saying, I am good at public speaking. I need to train to be better at it. Positive language to reinforce that limit, that belief, right? Because everything that you keep saying yourself, telling yourself in a cycle just keeps rotating and rotating and rotating in your brain. And that's what's going to slow you down, right? And that's what's stopping you from doing all these things or whatever it may be, right? So the moment I actually started destroying limiting beliefs and creating empowering beliefs, my skills just started skyrocketing in a heartbeat. That's because I already had the skills, right? I already knew what I was doing. I just had to rewind it and reapply it. So here's the thing. Make sure that you first change your limiting beliefs into empowering beliefs. Make them beliefs that strengthen you, that make you strong, that make you feel confident, that make you feel positive. These are the things that they should make you feel, not the other way around. Okay, so that's one step to mastering that strong mindset that you need to growing yourself. Okay, and to creating new norms. So when you start breaking and having empowering beliefs, now I told you that it was 20% mechanics, right? Here's the best part of the joke. You know what you need to do. The options are very much out there. You may be a religious person, you may not be a religious person, but we do have this concept of choice. Okay, you either do A or you either do B. So depending on what you want to do, you only have to decide what to do. That's all. The choices are very evident. Choices are always there. Okay, you need to decide what you need to choose. And the moment you change your belief system, automatically the choices become evident. You want to do it rather than not do it. Okay, so once you've gone through this process, it's a very interesting process. Sometimes you can't do it alone. Sometimes we need a little help. But there are people around you that are always there to do it. You don't need a professional, qualified person to help you through this. You just need somebody to give you that positive environment, surrounding yourself with good people that can help you empower yourself, really build yourself up. Okay. The next thing, once you create a good base and a good foundation, once you got that mindset going, you got to challenge and grow. So here's the thing. During the creation of the base level, you can create the mindset, and you can also start looking at what you like to do. Okay, so let's just look at skills as a basic thing. When you start looking at skills, there are things we think we can do, and there are things we think we can do. So here's the best part of the joke. Everything you believe you can't do is something you can actually do. It is absolutely something you can do. And it sounds insane. It sounds funny. You're probably wondering right now, this guy is looking so stupid right now, saying that everything is possible. Approve it as a fact. From a young age, I believe that I was somebody who had very limited abilities. But as time progressed, when I saw something and I concentrated, I started being able to do it repeatedly. Right? And the funny thing is, I learned so many things this way. From speaking was just one aspect. There was a lot of help I got there. But when it came to playing certain sports like badminton, snooker, right? So many games like this were self-taught. Right? When it came to learning technology, self-taught. And here's the thing. The moment your limiting belief is becoming empowering beliefs, automatically you will understand that no skill is out of your reach. Many of you thought you don't know how to cook, right? So one thing that you'll openly see people doing these days is cooking, baking things, making new recipes, and trying everything that is possible, right? With the resources they have. Now, for the first few weeks that I was stuck during COVID, I didn't have a lot of ingredients. So what did I do? I just took what I had, got creative, and made my unique dishes. Trust me, it was pretty tough for me for the first 2 weeks because I couldn't find many resources until people started getting around a little bit more and things were loosening up a little, right? So there are problems that come because of it. And you need to just understand that any skill is masterable. Put yourself in it and start learning. So here's the thing. Creating the base is fundamentally learning also, understanding that you can learn the fundamentals of any skill. It can be cooking, you can play music, you can play a sport, anything. You can maybe even learn how to create games, softwares on your computer. Anything that can be. You can even do it on your phone these days. That's how crazy life has gotten for us. Technology has really grown that way. Even if you take a basic skill, like one thing that I sing and everyone gets sick of hearing this from my side is beatboxing. Right? Beatboxing is a very simple skill. You hear people making all these crazy noises, but here's the thing, right? They're noises, they're sounds. All they did was take different sounds and start putting it together. So you start putting these little things together. For example, if I was to break it down, okay, I'm not gonna break a beatbox here right now, but if you start analyzing, there are just some basic sounds that you can do, right? You can go, or you can go, right? If you just even take just those two sounds, those are just basically like letters. It's like boot, b, and this is like k, t cursor. So when you start putting these together, you can see it's pretty amazing how you just start slowly putting things together and building up on the process. It's the same for anything, guys. I just took that because that's what I can vocally show you right now. Even if I had an opportunity to show you cooking right now, I'll show you how you can take just a few ingredients and see how things go, right? There are so many things that you can do to learn the basics. Very, very simple process. There's so much of content out there. There's so many people around you, or it's just a path of self-discovery. Simple as that. Let's look at the next step, right? The next step after you create a good base for yourself is to challenge and grow. Now, when you look at challenging and growing yourself, there are so many things that you can actually try, but I'm going to narrow it down very simply. Take the role of what you have learned, whatever skill that you have learned, right? We're going to analyze the skills today. So if you take a skill and you start breaking down a skill, you've started mastering the fundamentals, the basics that help you do what you can do to entertain in a very simple way. The next step that you do is, if you're good at what you can do, right, take it to the next step. Now, difficult things become more difficult, or become easy actually. Difficult things become more easier when you start doing it repeatedly. Remember, repetition is the mother of all skill. The more you do it, the better it's going to implant in you. Okay? So start doing these things one at a time. Start scaling up. If you are a person who is blessed to have a phone, you have a basic internet connection, or you have a computer and you have some internet, try to go through some of the videos. If you don't have videos, here's something that I also do. Sometimes I take movies or songs, sounds, anything out there, any possible skill sets out there that I have in terms of downloaded content, okay? And I slow them down. I really slow them down, and I take the time to look at every possible thing that they're doing. And when I start doing that, I start learning. And once I've learned it, I start doing it again. And I keep doing it, and I keep doing it, and I keep doing it until it becomes a part of me, until it becomes a process I remember, until it becomes the belief that you know you can do it, right? So keep repeating that process. And there are great ways that you can keep challenging yourself and growing. Once you have mastered some skill or something in your life, right? Show it out there to somebody. You don't have to go anywhere crazy. You don't have to look for the Queen of England or the President of any nation to try to do something, right? All you have to do is you just show it to your family members. You show it to your immediate friends that may be around you. Or if you are lucky enough, send it across to somebody on WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, whatever. Just send it to somebody. At the moment you send it, get their feedback. See how they think. Do they like it? Do they hate it? Right? A lot of my friends, they come up to me and they always have the guts to criticize. And those are the people I value the most in my life. And those are the people who stay in my life because they are people who are honest with me. People who are honest will really give you a great way to grow. They'll give you the comments you need to really keep going up. All right. So once you know that you have to learn to grow your skill, okay, the second thing and the definite thing that I believe you should do is create content. Why do I say create content? Okay, it doesn't have to be the most spectacular. You don't have to aim to be the biggest influencers out there, right? You don't have to try to impress anybody out there. But essentially, when you start creating content, you grow and you create a mindset that I'm going to entertain someone. You're going to inform someone. You're going to change someone's thoughts, because your content has that power to do so, right? Words have the power to change people. Content has the power to impress people, change people. When you have the power to do that, and you can change people through a simple performance, through a simple entertainment, right? And if you're able to do that, that's going to really, really define how much you are growing. Because the better you get at it, the more compliments you're going to get, right? The more positivity that's going to come in. If there is room for improvement, great. Take the criticism, take the feedback, be honest with everything that you are gaining in your life, right? And accept it. Accept it wholesomely. Don't let it go backwards and into the limiting belief factor. Take the criticism and grow from it. It's like this. People can criticize as much as you want. It's up to you to choose the right words, the right things, and the right thoughts to want to do something. So challenge yourself, grow people, grow, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now you're probably wondering, what does all this have to do with the situation we are in? We are in COVID-19. We are in a lockdown situation. We are already doing some fun stuff. We are using our time. We are working at home. Some of us are not working. Some of us have probably lost our jobs. Yeah, okay. I said some of us have lost our jobs. Yeah, even I'm out of work for a while. But that doesn't mean that we're not going to return to that normal, right? I'm sorry about that. The moment COVID is under control and it goes to the point of flattening and getting out of our lives, right, we are going to return to a normal. This is the next step, ladies and gentlemen, right? Once you start creating content and once you start getting it out there, once you start doing anything, like I said, it can be anything. It can be absolutely anything that you want. You can even just talk about your feelings. There are people online who just talk about their feelings. And there are people who listen and they respond and they love that. Okay? Just create some content. If you want to just make funky videos, make it. It doesn't have to have you in it. You can get creative. There are some people I know who want to do video creation. Just they like to film something, edit it, put a few effects here and there, and try to get it going on. But the moment they start getting it out there, they're building something for themselves. Remember what I said there. They're building something for themselves. Like I said, you don't have to aim to be an influencer. You want to be an influencer, you want to be a person who has over 2 million followers or 10,000 followers or 15,000, 20,000, 300,000, doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But the moment you build something for yourself, you are proud of it, right? I have something that I built since 2013, 14, I believe. I started on Instagram a small food channel, right? And on that food channel, all I do is critique and review good food, good places. And the thing is, over the years, that built an identity for me, because at a time in my life I just felt completely lost. I didn't know like what on earth I was doing. So I thought I'd just do something fresh, right? And I went through this entire process to creating. And some people question and ask me, what do you know about food? I educated myself about food. I taught my palate or my tongue, my taste buds, what food is, what one ingredient can be in different situations, right? I took the time to understand this process, and I've been doing this for a long time. I loved eating, well, obviously from the time I was born, right? So I took the time to learn this, and I started just posting some random things. Then I started writing about it with an Instagram post. So I put a picture, and I put a nice little this thing, and my writing started increasing from 3 lines, 4 lines to almost a paragraph, and my style of writing increased. Now see how many things just built up on that. Right now, for the past month and a half, I have been brainstorming. How can I take it greater? Remember, challenge and grow. You need to keep that growth going, right? So now in this time, I have new ideas that have come along. I get comments from the people following me. I have a small following, right? Nothing that great, about 600 plus followings, and that is very comfortable for me. I like that. I'm not that depressed about it. I am happy that even when I put a post after like 6 months, I get the same amount of likes. Nothing reduces less than that, right? So there is that plus point, and see how much of happiness that brings me, right? So here's the thing. That leads me to my second part. No matter what happens, even the smallest victory, celebrate. That is the third thing that I want to let you know. You have to celebrate. You have to celebrate. Even if it's the smallest thing. You put something out there or you get some positive feedback, great. Put a thumbs up for yourself. Tell yourself, awesome, I'm going to keep doing it. Right? Every little thing. Celebration doesn't mean you have to wait to go out, get a drink, or go celebrate out with the dinner, go meet your friends and go hug them. Not necessarily. Don't hug people in this time. People are very dangerous, right? But What's very important is when you celebrate, you reinforce that positiveness in you. You reinforce. You're constantly telling yourself, I am doing good, I am doing great. And that positivity is going to be that energy that keeps your thing growing. So here's the best part. Celebrate and reward yourself. When you celebrate, you can reward yourself in the most simplest way, right? You can reward yourself with a nice cup of tea. I sometimes like to reward myself with a little sweet. So I get some chocolate, I get some yogurt or whatever. I just do it. Whatever can make me happy, I celebrate. And that's the funny part, right? You're probably thinking this guy is like goofy as hell and he's talking to us about this, but that's the truth. That's the honest truth. So what's going to really change your life, ladies and gentlemen, is when you return to your normal lifestyles, right? When COVID is gone, like I was saying a few minutes ago, once COVID is gone, when you return to your normal life, what's going to happen to everything you did right now? Interesting, isn't it? Think about it. You are working so hard, you are putting all the time, and I have all the time in the world now, but I won't have the time then. That's what you are thinking. That is the negativity speaking to you. That is a limiting belief. The moment you go back to that situation, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to go back into that limiting belief mindset. So what do? I think one of the biggest things we need to acknowledge, one of the biggest things that we need to do is, if we want to do something, schedule it in your calendar. Because when you schedule it, you're going to do it. Because someone told you there is a meeting next Monday, you schedule it and you attend that meeting. Because a friend said, we will meet over the weekend, you schedule it and you go for that meeting. Sometimes you don't physically schedule it into your phone calendar or your diary or a piece of paper or however you maintain your calendar, right? But you do somehow make a note of it and you go for it. So what if you actually properly put in the time, right? Because this time that you have is great to create new norms in yourself. And like I said, skills are just one thing, but creating a lifestyle, creating a culture, creating new opportunities for you, getting new opportunities for you, all of these processes can be done through this 3-step process. So remember what I told you. Create your base, challenge and grow yourself, celebrate and reward yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Because the truth is, if you don't try, why are you denying it? If you don't try, why are you denying it? Now, that doesn't mean I'm telling you to go and try something bad, right? The first time I actually said this thing, don't try something and don't deny something until you tried it. Somebody challenged me and said, so are you telling us to try cigarettes and all these bad things around us? And I was a little taken back. I took a moment and I quickly told back, try something that is good for you. If you don't like it, then you can move on, right? Because remember, this whole process, when you schedule something in, when you keep repeating it and you keep doing it, it's going to automatically become part of your life. It's going to be part of your life. And that's how you do things. That's how you did it. See, think about it on a normal basis, right? When you actually wanted to go jogging and go to the gym, you actually put it in, right? You paid for something. You decided to cut off things from your agenda and put that time in. That's how it works. It's as simple as that, right? Like I said, there are millions of ways that you can do it, but the simplest possible approach to this is this. So ladies and gentlemen, wake up, shake your norms, right? Change. Don't lose what you are doing now. Keep what you're doing going on even after the situation, whatever it is. You may have large amounts of time now. When you go back to your old lifestyles, remember, it's not going to be old. It's going to be new too. You're going to be accepting new changes in your workplaces, in your lives, in your study environments, wherever you may be, whatever you may be doing. You have to maintain certain distances, right? Here's the thing. Just because all that happens, it doesn't mean that you need to forget what you've done all this time. If you're doing a cooking channel, keep it up and running. If you're playing If you're entertaining somebody out there, keep that going. If you are growing some page online, keep it going. If you are just trying to help people, right, by giving them calls, keep that habit going. Keep that skill going, because that all part of your personality at the end of the day. That all becomes a part of you at the end of the day. That all is you at the end of the day. Okay? So all I can say to you, all that I can say to you is this. Nothing is impossible. Possible is always in your hands. You make the impossible possible. So I'll leave you with a quote that my favorite mentor actually tells me. It's a little twisted actually. You become who you want to be if you give the time that is needed for it. You become who you want to be if you give the time that is needed for it. So I wish you all the best and I bless you. Thank you very much again, International Youth Alliance for Peace. Right, it's been amazing talking for these 30 minutes, and I'm very sorry for the delay. Right, it was a lot of disturbance, but it was great to have been given this opportunity and being invited to speak with you guys. And here's the thing: I am not going to stop speaking. I actually broke my speaking pause today, and I'm going to keep that going. So you guys can follow me. I'm a trainer and coach by profession. My identity is out there. If you ever want to talk, you just have to reach out to me. I'm on Instagram too. Find me, right? I'm fondly known as the Panda. So if you can't find me using my name, just type Panda and I should pop up. So it's been a pleasure, guys. God bless you and take care. Be safe during these times. Practice caution. I wish you all the best. And remember, celebrate, enjoy your life. Thank you so much.